Welcome back, everybody, to IT Pharmacist, the only channel on YouTube where we speak both IT and pharmacy, and we either know everything about those two topics or nothing, whichever which way the episode goes. So that's like four topics at the price of one, only an IT pharmacist. So when we last left off our Tomb Raider experience, we were in the middle of grinding. And in the middle of, I mean, we just started. So I wonder if I can get back here. Yes, I remember there was this thingy I was supposed to shoot. Wow, Laura, I hope this takes you back. Sure, it takes me back. Wow, look at that. Look at that form and shape. I wonder if I can get back to the very beginning of the game. The very, very beginning of the game. Oh no, I guess I did fall down a slope. Oh, remember that guy in the very beginning who was like super like aggressively helpful? Yeah, I mean, like, seeing as the game has progressed, the story and how's everybody insane, I still think that guy was super insane. I mean, come on, you can't be that helpful. He was definitely a bit rapey. I was like, the only woman they haven't burned yet. I better catch her. So, him dying, I feel like was his own doing completely. Like, none of ours. We couldn't have. Wow, I've already been here and I still discover new things. Fancy. So yeah, today I wanted to take it a bit more chill, talk about, well, basically nothing, what I look for stuff, what I grind for crows and collectables and stuff. Let me loot this crow. I even got some salvage, quite a bit. Where was the crow hiding it? Is the real question here. But yeah, today was my first, like, the kind of online yoga where where the teacher was actually like looking at me. So of course, like, the comments of IT pharmacists, please like lift your everything and breathe and stuff came into play. Kind of annoying, but at least I got it right, I think. Hope. Yeah, that was pretty invigorating, pretty good. Every time I feel like sick or my back starts, aching, and I do a good round of yoga, suddenly all the stuff like is a little bit better. So I wholeheartedly recommend, if you have never tried it and you're not a very athletic person, hey, even if you are athletic, that you should definitely give yoga a try. Also, from an anatomical point of view, for me it makes just so much sense that yoga works. Let me tell you. I mean, like, it makes perfect sense that someone over the eons that humanity has been alive, or existed, not alive, existed. What's that? Oh, dears. Can I shoot one of you guys? Is the real question here. No, they're running away too fast. Yeah, that in the eons that humanity has been in existence, that someone would have figured out the right way of, moving your body to engage as many muscles as possible. It's just common logic at that point. There's a rope thing, but I can't see another rope thing. So, okay. Yeah, so looking for those. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. These things right now. Got 5 more to go, and they should be everywhere, according to that, but they are nowhere to be seen. So is this like some priceless artifact I'm destroying right now, or what? Seems like it, but we don't judge on this channel. We don't judge. What an underestimate of everything. Where is this rope, like, thingy? Coming and going, what does it mean? What does it mean, rope thingy? Can I... No, it's not a pulley thingy. Oh, whatever, I'm sure it'll show itself. So yeah. Right now it's of course, pretty hard to say who my demographic is because nobody watches these videos. But so I'm trying to stay in the middle of this all. A little sneeze there. So pro tip: if you feel like a sneeze is coming on, but you're like it's not coming, that halfway point that's so annoying and like tickles your nose and stuff. Look at a bright source of light. That usually like triggers the sneezing reflex to the max. See, and you say like you don't learn anything on this channel. This should count as schoolwork, honestly. Like watching this channel because it's so awesome. So yeah, since I don't know, I have a lot of parasite words. Also, if you haven't noticed. I know it's a bad habit, but I constantly work on it. I try, like, it took me forever to learn not to say, those weird pronunciation stuff when you're doing presentations, for example. There must be another totem here somewhere. Shouldn't there be? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's kind of difficult, but, possible, manageable. And I encourage everyone who's listening to this to actually, not for my benefit, but for your own, that you actually practice, that you, whenever you need to perform or, dictate something, that you just stay quiet. You don't like do like everyone understands that you need a moment, like, the moment to this wildlife is really like piling up on me. So yeah, that everybody knows you need, like, every now and then you need the time, a little while to collect yourself. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but just don't populate that moment of collection with just remain silent. It's perfectly okay. You don't have to say anything. Yeah. But it's a progress. It's a process, not a progress, but process. As we say on this channel, it's not about being good, it's about being better. Yeah, these gears now drop with only 2 hours instead of like 5 million, like the soldiers. Actually, yeah, I've been lately, since I'm so close to either graduating or failing so miserably that I have nothing to do the next semester but to, wallow in my misery. I've been like watching a lot of YouTube videos, reading quite a bit of articles on, how to improve yourself, what to do next, how to get the creative juices flowing. Because I am kind of a creative person. I mean, why else would I be doing this video? An uncreative person would just shut up and get on with their life, but not me. I have to talk to everybody about it. So yes, I'm really into, in bettering yourself, being a better person. Not necessarily the best person, but a better one. However long that may take. I hope it doesn't take that long. But here's hoping. And oh my god, I can't believe he actually hit me. That I'm not gonna be like, vendetta against that deer. Ooh, I can do a local waypoint. So there's a GPS cache here somewhere. So interesting. Yeah. So, here we go. Yeah, I was actually like thinking of, I don't know how it is with like in your country, wherever you are, listener. But in my country, they have this like program each autumn. I think sometimes in spring as well, but it's more of an autumn thing. When school starts, that everybody, like, adults, like everybody who wants, can volunteer at the school and do some subjects, or just come and talk to the youngsters. And I feel like the only ones who ever like came to talk to us were people who were like of a certain degree. Let me tell you, like someone who was like, I bet you know also these kinds of people, like the kind of people who are like, they discovered who they are and what they want to do for the rest of their life at like age 5 or something equally ridiculous, and. And now they're doing it, and they're like, "Oh my God, the rest of you are such losers. Why can't you figure it out? It's so easy, isn't it?" It is so easy to figure out like what you want to do. I mean, look at me. I did it like at 5 years old. How hard could it be? And what they're missing is that it could be very, very, very hard. Yeah, so that's where the rope thing is. But how do I get there? Yeah, I mean, look at me. I had to get like 2 educations right now to even come close to finding out what my goal in life is. Because life is not. You don't get any straight answers most of the time. I mean, why would you? Why would you get straight answers? It doesn't work like that. So, it's okay that it takes you time to figure out what you want to do. Like, there's really no rush, no like, you know, okay, money, but if all you want is money, then there's plenty of ways to get very easy money. And finally got it. Like there are multiple ways of getting easy money. It's not really something that should be your like main priority. Let's be honest. So what is this zone? Is this like after the underground zone? No, I think it's all the same zone. It's a weird place. Yeah. Ah, yeah, this is where I go to camp, isn't it? Yeah, this is the camp place. My mobile did something, so I had to check, because I'm a compulsive checker of mobiles. I check every mobile I have. One button again. This is the same region, right? It is, I think. This is the same region. So yeah, this is if this is all the same region, then I should probably move on, because I think I got here. Like here, I got everything I needed to get. Right, good plan. Yeah, I was thinking of going like, volunteering as a layman. But I've been constantly like thinking, what am I gonna tell to these kids who are presumably like, I don't know who they're gonna feed me to. Like, preschoolers would be the worst, because preschoolers, let's be honest, are like a little tiny bit brainless for the most part. Like not in a bad way. It's just like, they haven't had that much time to start to really think about stuff, because why would they when the new episode of Beyblade or whatever is on? I didn't think about anything at that age, seriously. I mean, like, it was my noggin was completely empty. No, the only thing I was thinking, like, I remember for me it was such a big mystery about MP3 players, because I was like, you remember those Sony Walkmans? They said they, play MP3s, and I was like, how do they know? How do they know that they play MP3s? So what is an MP3? Like, I knew what a music file was, but I didn't get like how does it, differ from an MP3. And at that point, like, nobody knew, and now I'm completely lost again. Yeah. So I would prefer that they give me like someone older. Like, for example, we have gymnasiums that's like 18, 17-year-olds. 19 is when we usually go, finish school and go into higher education around here. So what I wanted to tell them, what I desperately, I was thinking like, what advice did I desperately need when I was in a, situation like that? When I was, close to finishing school, didn't know what to do with the rest of my life, like, being very anxious about it. Because I went into pharmacy totally by accident because, you know, I just didn't know where to go. And my parents were like, you have to go somewhere. Like, we don't even care what you do. You have to go into university. And, you know, I just want to say to those kids that it's okay. Like, it doesn't, in the long run, it's not like you pick something and you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. It's nothing like that at all. Someone closed off the record player, which is sad. Yeah, it's like it's okay. It's not your last chance in the world to do something. And you know, picking a profession by way of okay, like what you do and the moral values and everything associated. Yes, you should account for that. But my suggestion would be that. Look for the core stuff. Like, do you want to work with people, or would you rather, like, you know, do an office job? And the only way I found out which I prefer was actually doing both retail and an office job. So, you know, experience does go a long way in life. Let's be honest here. Yeah, I think the rest of the stuff is all over here somewhere. Why is this like blacked out? Toggle. Yeah, let's go check it out. Check it out. Yeah. Also, I was like, you know, what's the ultimate like life advice that a 17-year-old kid who just went through puberty like wants to hear or something? The trope, of course, is that like, you know, the youth is the best time of your life. Like, you know, savor this moment. To which I would say, like, at the moment when I was living it, I already knew this was not the best time of my life, and I still hold strong that. It is not like school is not the best time of your life. It's if it is, then I'm sorry to say your life isn't that, you know, good so far. No, but it's okay. You have plenty of time and opportunity to fix everything. You know, and better it. Because you know, again, like focus what makes school so awesome to you, like so mind-bogglingly awesome that if you could choose, you could, you know, stay in school for the rest of your life. Okay, for me, like I enjoyed studying, hence like me going on two academical paths in, well, almost in a row. It was only like 2 years, you know, in between. After I finished pharmacy, I worked for like, oh, let me calculate now. Yeah, I worked for 2 years, and then I went back into IT. Not back into, but you know, back studying, and I picked IT this time. Because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy studying, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some people, they like the, you know, the social part of the school journey, which is also fine. Like, you know, you get to hang out with some, you know, friends. It's super good, cool. Buddies are there. Like, it's amazing. Like, you know, it's pretty amazing. There's nothing wrong with that either. But, you know, you just like, after some point, you have to figure out how can you replicate that. Ugh, where are the dream catchers over there? That's kind of weird. Why wouldn't they be here? Yeah, how can you replicate all the good experiences you had associated with school with your like workplace? I know a lot of social people who they basically talk to their kindergarten friends. I mean, no joke. It's like I don't know. Like for me personally, whatever is in my past is in my past. Like they're all dead to me basically. Ooh, what is this?
Laura is having a crisis of confidence, so for her sake, I'll keep up a happy face.
Well,
But something
thanks,
about this
Sam.
expedition has been making me nervous. I have butterflies in my stomach. As we sail closer to the Dragon's Triangle, I'm starting to feel nauseous. And this isn't the
Maybe it's
excited
like
kind of nerves.
seasickness.
What the hell is wrong with me? I should be excited. This trip is going to be awesome. I just need to shake off this feeling. Maybe I can convince Laura to take a break and have a drink with me.
I mean, you're the one who wanted to like find your ancestors and stuff, so I can't see like why everybody else is suddenly responsible for your like well-being. Could have argued, like not come here or something. Could have left you off at the nearest port, which is probably Shanghai or something like ridiculously like big and close by, and yet they haven't found out anything about this island. Where was I? Ah, yeah. Some people are just plain crazy. Like, you know, if what is this? This is ridiculous. I'm telling you, ridiculous. How am I supposed to get there? There's a map there, isn't there? But how am I supposed to get there? It's so weird. Okay, whatever. I'm getting this box at least. You know, find the patterns. To find the patterns only you know, because who else would know these patterns of what you're looking for, and just, you know, move your working life towards that. Wow, this was even without a temple. Kind of disappointed. Can I see any, like, do I have to go back is the question for the Dreamcatcher thingies? Because I seen a definite lack of them here. Also, I would say it's like, it's not that adult life is that much easier compared to school life. I would say it's like, you know, disappointingly the same, basically. Like, you think like some problems would, you know, fall off the horizon at some point, but no, they don't. Like, you basically have more or less the same kind of problems, although we name them differently. And you even get additional problems because now you don't have the, like, you know, the excuse of being stupid and immature. You're like, okay, now you're like responsible for everybody and everything in your life, and good luck with that, with no extra help or guidance or whatever. But yeah, that was my rant, or half a rant, of what I would say to the kids. I'm sure I'll think of something else. Also, it's like, you know, it's double the problem if you're a woman. Like, I'm sure, yeah, like this is the kind of talk that's will spark many a debate in the chat if someone at some point decides to listen to all of this. But yeah, that's, what is this like? There we go. But that's the deal. It's the deal is, if you're a woman, like up to some age, you're a, you know, a dumb little girl. If you have some sort of like looks to you, you're that much dumber. Not only to men, but to women as well. Like, which is weird, but that's the way you do. I don't know. Maybe it is for the boys as well. I've never been, you know, in a position to tell. But yeah, it's been pretty difficult to get out of that stereotype, and that's the point where most people, they don't want to, you know, go to school again and do something else. Is it a coin?
This mask was used in the traditional Japanese no theater.
Well,
I think it represents a demon, or Oni.
you know what an oni is, and yet you still ask when the oni attacks you, what the hell is this? Hidden information. What am I looking for? Do I have to like scan every piece of it for you to figure
There's a
out?
price tag. Looks like this one is a replica.
Hey, just like that jade statue. Well, pretty cheap for a, yeah, good mask. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a lot of that because around these dark parts where I come from, to be a pharmacist, you have to study for 5 years and you come out of it with a master's degree. So, you know, a little flex there. And the problem is, like, if you after you've put so much effort of you know, learning something, of you know, going to school for that long. Most people have families at this point, by the way, because you know, time is ticking. There's not much, you know, time left to do. People will, fall in love. They meet. There were studying stations, hopefully, because you do need to finish this, people. It's like, finish what you started if you can. No pressure, but it would be nice, cool even. I'm afraid those. Oops, wrong button. Those ghost hunter thingies was still in the other forest, so I have to go back maybe. Well, there's a camping site here, so I'll go for that, for the camping site. And after 5 years of university, most people would be like, why do I need a second education? Why would I ever need to, better myself in any way again? Like, why not just enjoy what you can and, do the profession? And there's nothing wrong with that, of course, do it. Like for me personally, I hit a wall pretty early on with my day-to-day job. Like 2 months after, that was the hardest, by the way. The hardest thing I feel like I had to overcome was the fact that 2 months after, finishing university, getting my degree, working a real job, uh, emphasis on real. I felt really good. Like, I've always had this, like, I've had jobs before, but they were all like, kind of meaningless retail jobs. But now I was a pharmacist, respect and all that. And 2 months in, I was like, this is nothing I like nothing at all. Like I hate the people I work with. Well, they weren't that bad, but like, oops, sorry, Laura, I got too angsty looking for these damn things. Yeah, they weren't the bad people, but I didn't like anything about my job. So I switched jobs, and I still didn't like my job. It was like, routine, getting used to the routine. And I feel like that's the point, finding a routine that you enjoy, that you like, that you're willing to do day in and day out for years and years. And, it's nice if your workplace provides you with some, extra study possibilities, sends you to courses and stuff. It's really nice, but you have to account with the possibility that you are never leaving that particular station in your life. Which I'm sure, like, a lot of people would argue that no, you should find a job where you can, go upwards as fast as possible. But again, it completely depends on the job. So yeah, I mean, and I wasn't like the only one. I feel like I took a risk at like I had to take time off, study time off of my actual job to go as a distance student on IT. It was super difficult. Like, but I thought that they would argue with me. My actual job would argue with me. They would be like, "Oh my God, how much education does one person need? Like, are you serious?" And stop joking around and do your job. And but no, there was no argument. They were like, "Yeah, fine, okay, now we're gonna do this. What are you gonna do? Like, your call," which was pretty nice of them. And I don't know, my foot got stuck in a stool. Can't seem to find these things for some reason. I want to look at the walkthrough, but I'm not very far from it, to be honest. Anyway, so at my workplace, I talk to people because, as you can tell, I'm a talkative sort, whiny sort. And I was like, why don't, like, other people were also like, when I said that I'm not happy with the situation, I want to progress with my life, I want to become better. They actually like said, a lot of people told me that yes, they were also feeling like that. That it's not that I hold a dead end job. It's that there just aren't that many possibilities for further education and stuff like that. It's all about experience basically. And oh, by the way, I work right now regarding drug like documentation. Yeah, my job heavily like relies on, I don't talk to people as much, but I'm like more in depth in the documentation and how drugs are actually put on the market and stuff like that. And a lot of a dream job for a lot of pharmacists, but there are not a lot of now additional education possibilities because it's just such a like a niche thing. Like it's so difficult to find good education or people who could educate you because it's such a you really need experts and it's all basically on experience, rights and experience. But other people didn't want to because they were like, I have kids. I'm in a really like good place in my life. I don't really want to like rock the boat. And I feel like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with liking stability, but maybe it was still in the other place. I'll try looking here. There's nothing wrong with stability. There's nothing wrong with, enjoying life like you have it. In fact, I would encourage more people to enjoy what they have instead of what they don't. That's how you figure out what you want further. What, you could basically have all you want right now out of life in general, and you just never focused enough on it to realize it. But a little bit like, getting out of your comfort zone, a little bit at a time. Not a lot. I'm not saying to drop your family and kids and your house and just move to Malaysia or something. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm like talking about an extra little course, a little night course, a little online course, like nothing fancy, just a little bit extra work on the brain cells. Oh, what is this? Oh, brambles that hurt me. Wow, a little bit of a little extra course, a little extra education. Not nothing too fancy. Like one course in calligraphy, something like that, or pick up a new hobby. Like I like handicrafts because every now and then I find like a completely new technique of doing something, and I wholeheartedly like engross in it. I enjoy it. I learn something from the internet. I learn by myself, by the way. I don't have like anybody showing me what to do. Why would they? And I like that. I like learning. I like discovering stuff. It's pretty like cool. But most people, I feel like they don't. It's not that they don't think ahead that much. It's that they don't want to bother. They don't want to like get out of their like cycle routine because there is nothing more like lulling and comforting than a routine. A routine means you're safe. The routine means like there's nothing going to happen. Like you know in advance what your day is like 2 Tuesdays away is gonna look like. Which is cool in its own right, but I feel like a little bit of getting your blood pumping over something new, learning something new will be of benefit to everybody. So yeah, I feel like I talk a lot about pharmacy and not enough about IT because I do like talking about IT. Just not a lot of people to talk with it because my circle of acquaintances right now mainly consist of people in medicine as opposed to people in IT. I'm still networking, building up. Oh, they are here finally. Ugh, now I have two of them to find. What are the chances that one would be like right here somewhere? None. I knew it. So yeah, IT. Uh, have you ever wondered, dear viewer, why is it that IT, like we all know, that IT pays a lot, right? That there are a lot of jobs, like there's not enough IT specialists, like never enough. It pays like oodles and oodles of money. You get free houses, and like everyone's going nuts about you. And only one left. Okay, I'm gonna make this count. So yeah, oodles and oodles of money. So why then, if everybody knows about this, that there's a guaranteed job and the good pay and job security and stuff like that, why is it that not a lot of people actually choose computer science and computer like engineering, or I don't know what it's called. So I went on the program developer course myself. They're named differently, but it depends where the emphasis is when you're studying. Why is it that so little people actually go into IT? Do you know? I know. I know because, well, first of all, I read about the topic quite a lot because it interested me as well. Second off, when my course started, like the distance course, let me think about this. Yeah, I think the distance course alone was 200 people, plus the daytime students, which was another like 200 or 300 people. Those who go inside the week, like every day. Distance students came only every other like weekend, from Friday to Sunday. Why is it that let's say like 300, well, specific like 400 people? Okay, I don't know what's happening on the day to student line, so let's see only distance students, 200 people. By the end of the second like year, there were like less than 100 of us left. Now, can you guess why? There was a lot of reasons. The main one was, of course, programming itself. It's uh, it's the problem here is that the problem with programming is that you can't really like pull a connection, like you can't really like make an analog to anything else in your life with programming, like in nature or something, like like it's a logic, like it has to do a lot with logic. I mean, it is the language of logic basically, but it's the kind of logic that isn't intuitional, let's say it like that, I guess. Like if you, for example, like medicine is much more intuition. Like if you cut yourself and blood is pouring out, your first instinct, I hope, is to stop the bleeding, because you know that the blood isn't supposed to be on the outside. Hopefully, now you do if you didn't know. But with programming, you can't like ones and zeros. Like this is so thought up about. With someone had to think this all up. Also, the unsung heroes of our time, really. The people who thought all of this up, because geez, it gets really complicated. It gets very technical. It gets to the point where like you really wonder what kind of like mental disability did these people really have to think all of this up, because no normal person would probably think this up. Of course, they did spend like years thinking about it, so there's that. They were all like professors in mathematics and stuff. But yeah, like they were always under the bridges or something. Looking for the last one. Ugh, give me a sign. Someone, give me a sign. Give me just one of them. Yeah, I'm missing just one. To finish this area forever. So never to come back here. What was I thinking? Ah, yeah. The first reason was programming itself. It's like really hard to get your minds across from it. Like a very good explanation on what programming is, I actually saw a YouTube video, and they were like, if a circle represents your entire knowledge base, then programming is like a separate circle altogether, and you have to build a bridge to it. I thought that was a pretty good like explanation to all of it. So yeah, that bridge capping was really hard. I thought I would, be flung out of the race pretty much on the first semester, because I was so like, I had real big trouble, like real big problems of wrapping my head around it. Because it wasn't like difficult, it was just like, do you get it? Do you know how to, for example, like solve Sudokus or Kakuros, or, the number logic puzzles? You get in crosswords sometimes in newspapers. It took me a long time to grasp that as well, but once I did, it was like super easy in hindsight. And the programming is like basically the same thing. It's like super hard to wrap your head around it. But once you do, it seems like, oh my god, are you guys all like stupid or something for not getting it? So I just try to stay humble that it is difficult. The second reason was for our course specifically was physics. Now, yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of you guys think that oh, I'm gonna be a programmer. I'm gonna make play computer games all day, and that's gonna be my work. Which I say that first off, most programmers are not compute like making computer games is super difficult, super unrewarding because there are a lot of like this rabbit, the way he's standing. This took a lot of effort, but you will never see it. A lot of developers are underpaid. You know, they are made to work like ridiculous hours when it's crunch time to make the deadlines and all that. For the hype train and everything. And the industry is not kind to anybody, especially newcomers. So actual program like most programmers, as I understand it, go into web development sooner or later. It might be not be the fanciest or like the thought-provoking job, but it pays the bills the best, at all even. Where is this last, like, where is it? The last of the, the thingy. To the right, okay. Could be hanging somewhere, like, super obvious and I'm just not seeing it. Probably ran past it like 6 times already. People screaming at me at the computer screen. But this is the kind of podcast-like episode that I enjoy when I do my handcrafts. I just like, put it on and do my own stuff, and hopefully the guy or someone who's like doing the game will tell me what's going on, so I don't have to look up to it too much. And what's going on right now is nothing much. I'm looking for the last collectible in this area. For the life I make. Oh, here it is, under the bridge, of course. Oh, the last place you look, I'm thinking. Wow. Unfinished business. Look at me. Okay. Thank God. Let's move on. So yeah, you need a lot of like... also mathematics was pretty hard for people. Because you do need some math. You do need some physics. It's, it's part of a classical education. But it's the basis of your further studies. And if you had some, gaps in your knowledge from, primary school or whatever, then this is where those gaps are really gonna start biting you in the bum. Okay, next area. There's not a lot of like, extra stuff here, so hopefully we'll do it quickly. So for this realistic stuff was very hard for some people. Also for a lot of people it was very hard because some came in like they were coding from 5 years or something. From 5 years old, like ridiculous. Like ridiculous, they started ridiculously young. Pyromaniac. Is this where I have to... What? Where's the... Is it down here or... Where's the map? You told me there's a map somewhere. And you're not showing it to me. The Pyromaniac, what do I have to burn? I can't even remember. Yeah, a lot of... it's up there somewhere. Down here? Maybe up there. A lot of people came in, they already know how to program, like a lot of them had careers, which was so fine and dandy. And they were like, you know, the rest of you are suckers, and this is the only programming language to learn, like the one that they knew. This is the only technique to learn, you know, the one that they knew. And hope you see a pattern here emerging. And the fact of it, like they just needed a piece of paper so they can go, you know, back to work and say that they want some extra pay. That was their whole reason of being there. And since they already decided that they knew everything, come on, can I not use this? Ah, this is where I came up here on the other zone. Yeah, they're like, no, 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 don't get out of, like, somewhere over here. And since they went for the paper only, they were like, they were super annoying. They were like, they really hindered everyone else's studying because they were like, at every point, they were screaming, all you're doing is pointless and this is all stupid and I don't want to be here. To which I say, never be that person. I mean, yes, I understand sometimes you just, you know, gotta suck it up and do it for the paper, but don't be that person. Either, you know, find something that's interesting for you, do something else while you're sitting at the lectures. Don't come to the lectures at all. A lot of them were like voluntary in our studies. Like it's no big deal. A lot of like most lectures were even recorded, so you know nobody's keeping you there. It's your decision basically to be there. So why do we have to basically be responsible for your decisions? And yeah, so programming isn't that easy. Also, all of your knowledge is basically like obsolete in a couple of years if you don't actively like participate in courses, you better yourself and all that. It's really ridiculous. And the competition is super like high. Like don't kid yourself, you're not going to Silicon Valley most likely. And if you are, your sell-by date is basically 30 years old or 40 if you're really good, like really good, like extraordinarily good. Because for them it's easier to get new blood that is like, you know, twinkle in their eye and super excited and work for basically pennies because they don't know any better. And yeah, it's not kind to people who basically know what they're doing, but and they know when the boss is you know, being unfair. It's not good for those people. And you know, it's good to have aspirations, or whatever you call them, but be realistic. Again, most developers are going to finish school and go on like a web development, or you know, the day-to-day life isn't that glamorous, is what I'm telling you. But it's okay. It's a job like any other. So another added thing is like, I don't know how it is in other countries, but here there aren't a lot of like women in IT. So a lot of women are like, when they finish school, they are actually like, you know, they're hired. No problem with that, but they are basically hired as mascots. Like, you know, it's nice to have a woman around. It's super nice, but nobody, like, you know, it's the woman who's like responsible for keeping the morale up of the men, the real coders. Unfair, I know, but that's how the world works. I was lucky. I got internship with a really nice like company where I actually did something. It's pretty cool.
Silk fan. Could have been used by a villager or a noble, maybe.
Well, which one is it? Villager or noble? There's a pretty big like pay gap over there. Cool. Missing all of these like stuff here. Don't keep my eyes open. Yeah, another relic is over there. So what am I supposed to be burning? I don't get. I'm sure I burned only one, like, of something, but what else am I supposed to be burning? I don't know. Uh, yeah, it's tough being, like, a woman in IT. Like, also IT where boys, like, it's, again, I don't know how it is in other countries, but in our country, when a boy does badly in his studies in school, that's normal. He has other hobbies, he's like, he's a lost cause for academics, but he's good at something else and that's what counts. And look at all these relics.
It's a gunbai, used by samurai to relay orders to their soldiers in battle.
Wow,
Pretty solid. Must be made of stained cypress.
wow, so neat, so Chinesey. Or Japanesey, I don't know anything about anything. So, yeah, it's normal for boys to be like, academically wise, not that bright. For girls, it's like basically diff. It's like if you get below, is this it? Yeah, it's the lantern. Now I remember. It's for girls. It's if a girl gets below average mark, then there's a problem. There's a problem. The parents are called out, and where is your future girl, and what are you doing, and all that. For boys, they can be like, one step away from being expelled from basically their family, and it's fine because they have their hobbies. And a lot of boys use that time to actually learn programming on their own. So by the time, you hit university, a lot of them already know quite a bit, and you know basically nothing because you were required to do basically everything else. And all the usual hobbies that girls get put through. Okay, boys too. But, you get my drift. So, there's an extra layer of, like, complexity there that I do not enjoy. The first, yeah, that's my, like, main advice to people who are going to go to study IT, is that sooner you realize that nobody knows what they're talking about, the better. The sooner you realize that your educated guess is as good as anybody's, the better, because really that's the thing. It's like there are no hard answers in programming. They're just not. It's all very. Here's another lantern. It's anybody's guess most of the time, because programming allows for many numerous, like, different solutions to the same problem. I kind of like got to that conclusion like in the middle of it all. Because I was tired. I was tired of the fact like I got a solution, I was pretty proud of it, like, small time flexing on it in the hallways before the next lecture or something. And always there will be someone coming and saying, oh, that's completely wrong, no, 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 no. And then like my method is better. And I would scramble to like copy their method, to understand it, to understand why is it better than mine, because I don't get how it's better, until I realized that it's not better. It's just not. It's like a different way of doing stuff, but it's not better, it's not worse, it's just, it's just two different pieces of the same puzzle. So yeah, it's is this the same zone? No, this is a separate zone. Okay, so we'll find this. So stay true to yourself and stuff like that. Where's this other lantern then? Last lantern. Last lantern. Whatever. I'll find it. Find it in due time. Right after I find all the GPSs and stuff. And relics. Bound to hit a lantern at some point as well. Can I drop here? Yes. Yeah, but that's actually like, a general rule. Like, don't listen to everybody. Like you know, you can listen, you can take their input, but you're the one who makes decision on your life. So you know, you be you. You be you, whoever you are, and don't be ashamed to it. Like you know, you're not supposed to be a wunderkind in every single thing you do to enjoy it. Because that's the problem. It's like, you know, that's what I got from programming as well, by the way, that you have to be like serious about programming. You have to be like, you know, born basically coding in the womb to be a programmer. At least that's how I understood it, because everyone was so like, oh, if you're not at least Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, then you have no hope of anything, of ever achieving anything at all. Like, did I miss like a lantern over here or something? And I can tell you, no, it's you don't have to be Steve Jobs. There's enough jobs for, you know, a programmer of any caliber. And also, it's slightly debatable. Do you even need academic? You know, do you need a degree anyway to program? Because technically, YouTube is filled with instructions, and you know, you don't even need to go to school. You can just do it, get to work. And that's all very much, you know, good and valid, but what the recession like 2008, 2009 taught us, at least in these parts of the woods, is that the first ones to get laid off are those people without a degree. That's why there was a push, like a lot of people who already knew. Wow, look at me, Paramaniac challenge complete. A lot of people like who already knew how to program came back for a degree, because it's like you know, they don't want to get laid off, and you have instantly the right to ask for extra money for your, you know, work, because you're not just a programmer, you have a degree. Mountain village. Can I do this as well? Illumination. I suppose we can start. Nothing else planned right now anyway. Okay, go back to camp. I think the mountain village is where we fought, you know, we found Roth the moth. Jump in the water! Yeah. So, mountain village. Here we go. Now I lost my train of thoughts again. And watch back this and be like, oh my god, why are you so silly? IT pharmacist, why are you being so silly? Oh yeah, degree. You don't need a degree, but you know, when push comes to shove, this might be pretty important. Oh, this is such a big like area. This is still the mountain village, mountain village. Okay, this is different. Mountain village. Okay, well, I got this here, so mountain base approach. Ugh, such a lot. So such a lot of like, yeah, this is the place where we left off. Oh well, at least there are no enemies anymore. Like, you know, quiet exploration. I'm digging it. I urge you to get a degree whenever it's. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why are you here? Why are you here? Where are you? No, you're over there, right? There's only two of you? Why am killing you all? Why are you following me? Show yourself. I have extra guns now and everything. Oh, none of us can hit each other. There are two of you down there. You're gonna burn yourself, man. Don't, like... Is that it? Yeah, that's it. You know, you never know when a piece of paper is good for you. Again, in these parts, most education is free. For you Americans out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it ended up like this for you. That you were, you know, born a bit on the other side of the ocean. But, you know, there are exchange programs. There are methods. What is this sign? I don't think I've ever seen that sign before. Oh yeah, I didn't explore that much, so... Later, must fly us would set us free. Okay. Why does he leave you ammo then? Kinda suspicious. This is a different box.
This must have belonged to a US Marine. Were they on the island in force or just an advance party?
Oh, Americans.
Do these marks represent friends lost or enemies killed? Either way, he needed a drink.
So do we, Laura. We have much more marks. We have much more, I would argue. So yeah, I am milking our government for all the free education I can possibly get, because why the hell not? We have the system, like, if you earn a higher, like, academic degree, then you are entitled, like, everybody can get one. You can get one academic degree, or you can get one, what do you call it? Like, it's not academic, it's like practical or something. It's like the same level as academic, but it's slightly like, you know, it's it's more like less theory and more practice. I suppose you can call it like that. I'm also looking for nests. It's ridiculous. There's a nest over there. And once you've gotten like once you've gotten your degree, like in either like way, you can you're eligible for another degree in like you have to like twice. You have to multiply it by twice the time you studied, like the time, and after that time you can get another degree, like of the same caliber for free. And after that, it's basically a question of like, do you have the time? Like, do you have kids? Like, you know, do you want to? What do you want to? A lot of universities don't want to offer the, you know, the practical degree anymore, because they're like, you know, it doesn't bring in as much money. What is the point of that, I wonder? Was it not enough torque or something? Think so. So I'm already making plans on what kind of education to get next. Because I'm like that. I like studying. It's like gives you so much like tangible rewards quickly. Because with most other stuff, you're like, it's a... Where are you? Why are you whistling, dude? Oh, it's on the other side.
After a fortnight, I was at last granted an audience with Her Majesty, Himiko of Yamatai. I must confess, she is unlike any woman I have ever encountered.
Have you ever even seen women?
Beautiful, yet inscrutable, calculating even. She surrounds herself with her priestesses of the sun. No men attend her, save the general of her armies. When I met with her alone, I came to realize that she is not at all what she seems. I was sent by my lord to spy on her, to assess the strength of her armies. But now, I feel she is the one assessing me.
Turns have
My
tabled.
lord has perhaps underestimated the threat of Yamatai. Though I cannot gauge the true strength of her storm god, I cannot deny a powerful feeling that the Sun Queen should not be trifled with.
Yeah, you shouldn't mess with people. So the sky is over here, isn't it? Let's just go in guns blazing. Good. Is he like over here somewhere? Where is he? Where is this guy? I heard whistling. Ah, there he is, praying. He's dead now. All quiet. Lovely. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, I'm gonna, milk the education system for all it's worth. Why not? I like studying. And I advise you to do the same. Because what else are you gonna do? But be a bit better every single day. That's the hard part, by the way. Being better. It's like there's no real like people don't tell you how to lead a good life. I suppose religion does, and I feel like quite often that religion, that's why some people like magnetate towards religion more than others. Because it provides you answers, it provides you stability, it tells you exactly what you need to do. So it's not about like, oh, you don't have the mental capacity to think about it yourself. It's like you don't have to, in the same way that I probably could oh, what do I do? I have a calendar, like Google Calendar. I don't need to use Google Calendar. I can probably I don't have that many appointments, especially now. Oh, that was a close one. And yet I do. I use the services of, calendars, apps, all those fun stuff. Not because I couldn't do it myself, it's because it's easier that way. Like there's some stuff I don't want to deal with. And the same goes with figuring out what you want to do, what's the right way to live a life and all that jazz, all those wonderful stuff. There's a lot of deep talk for one episode. Kind of getting tired now of talking. I'm getting a sore throat every evening from all of this talking as well. Oh, you're fine, Laura. You're fine. So, and I miss everything completely. La-di-da. At least I didn't miss this loot. But I can shoot everything now. So much freedom. So much loot.
Someone looked at this picture many times. It's been folded and unfolded repeatedly.
What a pretty little lady.
He never returned home. This island has taken so many lives.
You have taken a lot of lives, Laura. Don't blame the island for everything now. Unfair to, your achievements. Ugh, so much stuff here. Seriously. This is up another flight of ladders. Or stairs, or whatever you want to call them. And another one, apparently. Where is it? How do I get up there? Jeez. Oh yeah, this is what there was a place I was like, how do I get there? So let's go to this one instead. Yeah, this one is way closer. Right, I can do this. Yeah, it should be right on top of that. Yeah. Wrong button again. This area has so much stuff. And corpses. Okay, let's assess the situation. Not enough skills. Can I upgrade something? I'm 50% done, so there's 50 more you want to tell me. Yes, I'm not completely done. This is 100. This is the best it can get. Okay, let's do this. Let's do full choke. And I need 400. Yeah, good, good. Everything is going according to plan. So, to find X, find triple S's. Ugh, such a big area. Such a big area. Need to find eggs as well. Oh. You know what, I'm getting a bit tired of this, so this is going to be a 2, maybe even a 3-parter of, you know, of grinding. Grinding to the max. So, if you don't want to hear all this musings, feel free to skip to the next, like, you know, valid episode. I'll try to remember to put it in the description that this is not a valid episode. The next one is. But for the rest of you, thanks for, hearing me out, and I'll see you in the next episode. So, until then, remember, it's not about being good, it's about being better. So, toodles!